21-year-old Jatalen Jones has been arrested and charged with murder in the fatal shooting of 29-year-old Diamond McDuffie. At just after 11:30 p.m. on Thursday the 3rd of November, the authorities responded to a report of shots fired inside the home in the 200 block of West Forest Street in Jonesboro, Arkansas. When officers arrived at the scene, they discovered a man dead from a gunshot wound inside, who was later identified as Diamond. During the investigation, the authorities developed Jatalen as a suspect and issued a warrant for his arrest on Friday morning. Later that afternoon, with the help of the U.S. Marshals East Arkansas fugitive team, the authorities located Jatalen about 40 miles away in Parkin, and he was taken into custody without incident. The motive behind the shooting is unclear. Jatalen will appear before a judge early next week for his probable cause hearing. The investigation into the matter continues. 23-year-old Chevelle Jordan Jones is behind bars and is accused of fatally shooting his girlfriend and 3 of her female relatives after an argument. The incident occurred at around 4 a.m. on the 4th of November at her home along Myers Drive in Union Park, Florida, when one of the family members, who was also struck by a bullet with her face covered in blood, managed to escape to a neighbour's house, who then called the police for her. When officers went inside the residence, they found the bodies of a 49-year-old woman, 2 of her adult daughters, 28 and 29, and a 4-year-old granddaughter, all had fatal gunshot wounds to their head. Chevelle was also found at the scene. He was alive after suffering a self-inflicted gunshot wound to the head. He was rushed to the local hospital, where he underwent surgery to remove gun fragments from his skull, and is expected to survive. 2 other small children, aged 4 and 6, were at the home at the time, but they hid under blankets when they heard the gunfire, and neither of them were harmed. The authorities said that Chevelle and his girlfriend got into an argument at some point during the previous night. Following the argument, Chevelle began to move some of his belongings from the home. He left the home, only to return with a gun and opened fire. The authorities said that the couple didn't have any record of any prior domestic violence. Chevelle's sister, whose name remains anonymous, said, "I understand he was drunk and whatever, but still a kid," she said. "He's not this type of kid. He's not. He's always smiling. He's always at the house with the family. He's always chilling, playing games with us. I just don't understand." Chevelle's been charged with 4 counts of first-degree murder with a firearm. The woman who escaped the shooting, who is a girlfriend, sister and mother to all the children, is expected to survive. The Birmingham, Alabama Police Department is investigating a shooting that left a man dead. The authorities said that around 5:50 p.m. on the 4th of November, a domestic argument led to shots being fired into a vehicle in front of a house in the 800 block of 45th Place North. Officers responded to the scene on reports of a disturbance, and when they arrived, they found a deceased man laying inside a vehicle had been shot multiple times. The victim was identified as 33-year-old Jesse Dwayne Cummings Sr. Jesse's infant son was inside the vehicle with him when the shots rang. The baby was not seriously injured apart from some cuts from shattered glass and was treated at the scene. The authorities said that more than 20 shots were fired. At the time of the shooting, there was a large gathering across the street, where twin boys aged 8 and another boy were celebrating their birthdays in the Reverend Dr. Morrill Todd's Homes public housing community. Partygoers said they ducked when the shots were fired, but the barbecue continued once the gunfire ceased. Officer Truman Fitzgerald said the shooting appeared to stem from some kind of domestic dispute that resulted in fatal shots being fired into Jesse's vehicle. The authorities said that the shooting is not believed to be affiliated with the group across the street. The investigation is ongoing, and no arrests have been made to date. A Maryland man killed his ex-girlfriend and 3 others before turning the gun on himself. And just before 4 p.m. on the 4th of November, homeowner Darren Mann called 911 after returning to his home at 3018 Wildflower Drive in La Plata, Maryland, to find 5 dead bodies inside. During the investigation, 28-year-old Andre Sales, who lives at a different address to the victims, has been identified as a suspect in the quadruple murder-suicide. Homicide detectives said that Andre entered the home and fatally shot his 21-year-old ex-girlfriend Sarah Mann. He also killed Sarah's brother, 18-year-old Kay Mann, their 48-year-old mother Somali Mann, and 23-year-old Javon Watson from White Plains was also shot. Andre then killed himself. His gun was recovered at the scene. Officials noted that 2 children were initially unaccounted for as police surveyed the scene, but were later found unharmed in a different location. Officers have not provided any information regarding where the young children were when the shooting occurred. Investigators are speaking to families and friends to try and determine a motive in the quadruple murder-suicide.